Welcome back to the Ozempic Chronicles. This is episode 2 and is not for the faint of heart.
Today, we're diving into why they are injecting 6-year-olds with Ozempic, who is being paid to do this, why are they being paid to do this, and what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, who gave the green light for that, really? Anyway, I'm Helene. This is my daughter, Penelope. We've lost 260 pounds combined with no loose skin. And today we're going to dive into the lawsuits. We're going to find out who's getting paid. We're going to look at this documented pharmaceutical corruption.
We've spoken to a lot of doctors who said that they aren't paid and they don't get paid any money for pharmaceuticals. But today, you're going to learn how much money pediatricians are being paid currently.
And unfortunately, children are getting caught in the crossfire. And to me, you know, adults, you do what you want. But kids, we got to protect our kids. They are the future.
I'm against this drug for adults and children, but today we're really diving into the children because this is what's most concerning, that the 6-year-olds are being experimented on. And in my opinion, this is child abuse and torture. So let's get into it.
So who made the decision? Who made the decision that it was okay for kids, that it was legal for kids? So in 2020, Novo Nordisk, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy, launched a pediatric trial to test semaglutide in children as young as 6 years old. We found that out at clinicaltrials.gov. Everyone in the world can see that. But that's interesting. That's only 2020. Okay, it was just a reminder, it's 2025. That's 5 years.
And they weren't isolated cases. They were intentional trial network, and including hospitals in the US, UK, Germany, Portugal, Sweden, and beyond.
Yeah, it was an international trial network. So they were testing them in all these different countries. And it wasn't about reversing diabetes. That's what's interesting, because these drugs have been tested for decades, specifically for and are approved for diabetes use. But that's what's kind of interesting about this. Like these trials, these international trials, were not about reversing diabetes, but they should have been, in my mind, because kids, you know, are getting diabetes. 1 in 3 have prediabetes. So it was about testing weight loss in these kids, and they were using kids like as lab rats. Kids with obesity, they were testing it on them for obesity. But the thing is they didn't have any long-term data on what the impact would be.
Also, Mom, I was speaking to some people and they were like, well, is this drug in general safe for diabetes even? Like, are the side effects only for people who want to lose weight, not people who are also on it for diabetes? And the science actually shows that you still get these side effects if you have diabetes or if you're using it for weight loss, which I thought was really interesting, just to paint you guys all a picture out there if you're thinking about taking Ozempic.
Well, or giving it to your kids, because, I mean, our biggest question was like, okay, who gave the green light for this? And come to find out that the trials were approved by the IRBs, which is the Institutional Review Boards, the IRBs, and ethics committees. All right, wow, it was approved by IRB. Now, as citizens, we want to trust the IRBs, but it was based on protocols that were written by Novo Nordisk's executives.
Which is sketchy.
And well, I mean, I think that's probably normal because they know the drug the best. But it was funded by researchers. Well, let me see. Were those researchers Novo Nordisk researchers?
Well, we actually, later on, you guys are going to find out that in UK, they actually tried to bribe the IRBS, and then they suspended Novo Nordisk because they breached clause 2 in the IRBS clause. We're going to show you guys that later.
So corporate labs wrote the playbook, regulators nodded, and 6-year-olds were dosed.
Okay, and let's look what happened to the children, because the side effects in Novo Nordisk pediatric trial using Saxenda liraglutide, so this is like a agonist, or is this like a peptide of GLP-1, or what is this?
I'm not familiar with Saxenda.
But it's like GLP-1.
Well, yeah.
And so 80% of children experience nausea and vomiting. Okay, 80% of the children in this trial experience nausea, vomiting, and then headaches, dizziness, diarrhea, fatigue, and low blood pressure. These are children. These are little children.
So if you were vomiting, I would be alarmed.
Right.
I might even take you to the poison control center.
Right.
I'd be like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with my kid. I wouldn't like give you something to make you vomit and nauseous.
Right.
So parents are, you know, some people say obese children, that the parents should be taken away by Child Protection Services because it's our fault that our kids are obese. Now, I think if your kid's obese and they're like 7 or 6 or even 10, that might be true. I mean, you were a little pudgy, but like I couldn't control everything you ate. You did go to play dates and whatnot. So, like, but at a certain point, you're not really responsible. But here, you're really responsible. It's not the pediatrician who's giving your kid this. You are the one that has to go and have the health insurance to go see the pediatrician. You're the one who's paying for the pharmaceutical drug. And to me, I mean, this is. I don't know, Penelope. I wouldn't do this if I were a parent to my kid.
Well, a 12 to 17-year-olds experience gallstones, rashes and hives, and severe gastrointestinal distress, all before the age of 18. These children are experiencing these things. And guess what, you guys?
And this is on Wegovy's website, by the way. This is not stuff that we're just digging up out of nowhere.
You don't have to take the drugs. You could have none of these side effects. As a child, like I was a child when I was 15 and I was 320 pounds, I didn't go through any of this stuff because I didn't take Ozempic. And I'm so grateful that my mom also didn't, like that wasn't a thing. You couldn't take Ozempic as a teen when I was a teen.
Do you know what else gives you like a food coma? BK, Burger King. You know what else like gives you like dizziness? You know, when you can't walk up the stairs because you are so obese. I mean, folks, parents, you're going to have to wake up and smell the grass. You need to like actually get your kids out into the grass, into the sunshine. You need to feed your kids real food. And this is not a drug that you should be considering, in my opinion. There isn't enough longitudinal and long-term data that would indicate that it's beneficial for your child. In fact, it's just the opposite, and we're going to hear more and more about this. I mean, these are prepubescent children. That means children before they go through puberty, and they are experiencing endocrine, which means their hormones are disrupted, their digestion is disrupted, and if you know anything about anything, like digestion and hormones, you do not want to disrupt that in a child. If you have hormonal or digestive issues, you've got a problem on your hands for your child's future health. You do not want to be giving your child bone density issues, teeth issues, fertility issues. And you would be the one who's deciding that if you choose to give your children this drug.
And there's no data on how it's going to affect your child 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the road. There's no data.
We have
zero.
no idea what's even happening to the brain development as a result of all this.
Right.
I mean, please do not let your children be lab rats.
All right, so who in the heck decided it was a good idea to inject little children with a drug that you have no idea what it's going to do?
Well, it sounds like it was Novo Nordisk.
So who got paid? Let's talk about the money. Let's talk about who got paid in all of this.
It feels like medical gambling.
How much money did they have to pay somebody to say, okay, I'm going to walk away from all of my values and go inject little children with this drug? Okay, let's find out.
And greed is a real thing, Penelope.
But to inject little children, you could kill these children. There's no guarantee. I'm sure that these children, because I'm pretty sure when you're testing drugs, you have to sign your life away. So these parents are signing their children's life away, possibly for money too. These parents might have been paid.
Oh, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
No.
Why would you're not sure, right? I'm not sure either, because why would a mom say, yes, I'm going to sign my child's life away so that you can test on my children, even though they might die. I have no idea. I'm going to sign their life away and give you my child as an experimentation on a drug. You have no idea what's going to happen.
Do you remember when you said to me, and it was really confronting for me, you said, Mom, you're ashamed of me. And I was like, no, of course I'm not. I love you.
Would you get paid by Novo to try to kill me?
Absolutely not. But I mean, shame will have people do crazy things. Greed and shame will have people do crazy things.
So if Novo Nordisk came to you, Mom, and said, hey, sign your daughter's life away, I'll give you $100,000.
Hell no. Hell no.
No amount of money would make you sign my life away.
No way. I would give my life for yours.
So what do you think about all the moms who decided to sign their kids'
I think they don't know any better, and that's why we're making these videos.
Actually, I'm going to write a note, you guys, real quick. I want to know how much money...
Comment down below. We would like to know what you think about this.
How much money did Novo pay parents to test kids?
Yeah, I have no idea. But from 2013 to 2022, Novo Nordisk paid $25.8 million to doctors in the United States to promote GLP-1 drugs. That's from Reuters investigative report. Hold on. That is...
Yeah. I have it right here.
That's a big marketing campaign. They pay. Is that legal to pay doctors to promote drugs? I mean, I guess it's been going on for a long time.
Harvard obesity specialist. You guys are looking at Dr. Lee Kaplan right now.
He's Kaplan.
Kaplan. He received $1.4 million in total compensation, over $262,000 tied specifically to weight loss drugs like Wegovy and Saxenda. These same experts served on advisory boards, helped shape treatment guidelines, and pushed GLP-1 drugs as a first-line therapy for children.
Okay, this is where I draw the line. It is not the first line of defense for obesity for your children. You need to get educated about how to cook and what to feed your kids, yourself, and your family, because this is not acceptable. If GLP-1 drugs are a first line of defense for obesity, which is affecting our children, I mean, going to any school, I was the only fat kid in my school. Now you go into school and like most of the kids are fat. Maybe not in Boulder, Colorado or in Malibu, California, but in most places, you've got a lot of obesity, especially in underprivileged communities. Obesity is a problem. I agree. GLP-1s as a first line of defense, that's where I take issue. And if you're a parent and your child is obese, get educated. Get back in the kitchen and start getting real with your food, your talk, and your life, because this is serious. I mean, luckily, Penelope and I clawed our way out of it, Penelope lost over 160 pounds since she was 16. And that's a lot of weight. And I know that you can do it too. And I understand the struggle. But the GLP-1 is not the solution. That much I can guarantee you, based on the data that we have right now.
So drug money flowed, trials were approved, and pediatricians were bought. Even though a lot of doctors that I've seen have said, oh, I'm not bought. I don't get paid anything to prescribe Ozempic. That is not true. Do not listen to them. Go look at this Reuters article, Reuters investigative report, because they showed the facts here, okay? Now next, we're going to talk about the proven corruption, because it actually gets worse. In March 2023, Novo Nordisk was suspended by the UK's ABPI. So correct, earlier I said something different. It is the ABPI, you guys. So ABPI, this is what I was talking about earlier, the British pharmaceutical industry, that's what the Association of the British Pharmaceutical Industry, that's what ABPI stands for. They were suspended. Novo Nordisk was suspended for 2 years due to serious breaches of the ABPI Code of Practice. Right here you see
ethics, yeah.
Clause 2 details the actions likely to bring discredit on or reduce confidence in the pharmaceutical industry. Specifics of the case are available on the PMCPA website.
Yeah. And you know what? The reason why, let's just like bottom line it for you, for the audience, they were bribing doctors. They were disguising marketing as education, and they were encouraging off-label use, which is kind of interesting that they would be encouraging off-label use. So this is starting to look like a calculated approach where doctors are being paid. And the reason why we got this data from the UK is because the national healthcare system in the UK is something that the government runs. It's not privatized like it is in the United States. So there's a little more transparency.
Just like how they admit that they had over 28 now suicides in 2024 and 2023.
It might be even more.
It might be even more.
That data is still, I think, from early this year, 2025. But anyway, according to the ABPI's audit, Novo ran weight loss education programs that were actually promotion campaigns.
And these programs paid health professionals to push Saxenda and Wegovy, which is for the children, without full transparency. And you can find that source again on PMCPA case.
There's a big number there. Yeah, that's really interesting. So when we really read through the details of this case, what we were disappointed about, the ethics committee tried to say, hey, this is not ethical, but it was appealed and Novo Nordisk won. And, the PMCPA called it a lack of seriousness. And it sounds like they bought the doctors. Novo Nordisk bought the doctors because, they have so much money now.
And they disguised it as ads, as we know, because
they got caught, which is great. I'm really proud that they got caught. I mean, I like to know.
But they still got away with it.
That's the problem. And that's what we wanted to expose here.
And the sad thing for me, guys, is that the victims are alleging gastroparesis, which means a paralyzed stomach, ileus, which is intestinal blockage. We know a lady who has a ileocecal bag. Is that what it's called?
Well, that's further down, actually. That's bowel necrosis.
Oh, right. We didn't even know what that meant. We never heard the word bowel necrosis. Comment down below if you've heard of bowel necrosis.
So the ileus, the intestinal blockage, usually leads to bowel necrosis or other issues in your gastrointestinal tract. Actually, we heard reports that many people had gotten their colons removed this year as a result of taking these GLP-1 agonists. They were adults, but still, vision loss and death. Now, we talked to a lot of doctors who think that these drugs are miracle drugs for adults. Okay, let's just go. But for kids, you know, you really, this is really not okay. There's actually now hundreds of lawsuits that are from semaglutide injuries, and they're now becoming part of a consolidated federal case. You guys can all check it out. It's M as in Mary, D as in David, L as in Larry, number 3094. So do your research before taking this drug, and do your research before choosing to give it to your children, because there is a class action case.
But there are actually no pediatric halts. There's no moratoriums, and there's just more recruitment.
In Pennsylvania, there's a woman there's a CNN episode about that everyone can find on the internet, and she had her bowel removed. And what we're finding from people who are having these, who are suing, is that these people wish they had never taken the drug, because even after stopping the drug, they have permanent damage to their bodies. Now, these doctors that think that these drugs are saving humanity, they're saying, oh, well, the benefits outweigh the risks. I'm not so sure, honestly. Why not just become the healthiest person you can become?
And let me ask you this, what are these people hiding? They're hiding a lot of things, because we still have a lot of questions. They never tested for long-term brain effects in children. They never disclosed fertility risks in prepubescent users.
Not yet.
They hid behind statistical language to downplay serious injuries. I mean,
well, I'm looking forward to the long-term data. I mean, the point is that why is the public, why are 15 million people on this drug, and why are we allowing this before we have the data that we need? That's what I can't wrap my head around. Comment down below if you can help me to understand why 15 million people are agreeing to being lab rats. Now, I don't know what percentage of that are children. And comment down below. Do you agree that these semaglutides should be a first line of defense for obesity in children? I want to know.
Well, they continue to profit billions annually from off-label, not even on-label, off-label pediatric
How do they
influence-driven demand? Because, Mom, there's off-the-label Ozempic everywhere. It's in pill form now.
But how are they benefiting? That's what I want to know.
Oh, let's find out.
I want to find out. So
how are they?
If you know, comment down below. The real public health crisis, what do you think it is? It's not obesity.
It's corporate capture of medicine, and it's happening to our children.
Corporate capture of medicine. Do you want to be a victim of corporate capture in our medical system? I really want to know, because I don't. I want freedom from that. I want to know the truth about my health, because every human has the birthright of health, and the freedom that affords you is unparalleled. And guess what? You can't buy it. And so if your health is in opposition with corporate greed, look at where it's got us. We've got a problem on our hands, and it's time for us to wake up, get smart, and take action.
So if you know anyone who's worked at Novo Nordisk or any Ozempic companies, if you know anybody who's currently in lawsuits or suing Ozempic, if you know anybody who's Ozempic injured, any children who are Ozempic injured, any woman, any mom who is Ozempic injured or on Ozempic and not injured, please, or not injured yet, please email us at sstepiupss@gmail.com. That is where you can email us your tips. You can email us names, and we will be in contact with you, because we are interviewing people who've been Ozempic injured. We need your help to help us expose the public and what's really going on behind the scenes.
We just want to know the truth, and we don't know the truth.
Even Ozempic whistleblowers, I will speak to them. I will.
Well, what if Ozempic ends up being a good thing? We also don't know that, because the data just isn't there.
From what we do know, for little children, it's not a great thing.
Well, I just don't think we should be giving it to children until we know the truth about what it is.
Especially not as a first line of defense, because you guys, nature's powerful. I lost 160 pounds using nature, so I know all these children can do the same thing.
Human experimentation for profit, especially when it's your kids, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And I want to know how much they're paying these mamas to exploit their children. I think they're paying the moms. Let's find out. Let's find out.
It's really tough to be poor. I understand that. I'm a single mom. I get it. But, that's really tough.
All right. Well, if you guys want to support our work and support us keeping to do series like this, then please go subscribe to our Substack. It's one of the best ways you can support us, or you can send us donations at our Venmo, which is also linked in the description. We appreciate all donations. We appreciate all subscriptions. If you subscribe to our Substack, you will get recipes and behind the scenes. We appreciate all of your support. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys all the time.
Here's the thing. We think that being healthy should taste great, be abundant, and a really fun experience. We don't think you should deprive yourself and, go through some kind of agony. No, it's time to glorify health. It's time to make health entertaining and fun. And that's what we're doing on our Substack. That's what we're doing in our program, because we have a program also called Step It Up, where you step it up every day in every way, and you just reclaim that birthright of health and vitality. And we know that it's possible for you too. And we know, even more so, you're a great example for your kids. You can do it for them too. We love you, and we'll see you all the time.